on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rock and Roll Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Chris Levi White, OTWS superstar and up-and-coming musician. Welcome to the show.
Hello people, this is episode 1 of the Rock and Roll Wrestling Show with your host, wrestler and musician as Trey pointed out to everybody. And I'd like to introduce you to my show. This show is where you put music and wrestling all in one show. Big, small, and in the middle topics from the wrestling world will be talked here. That little piece I was playing at the beginning was from a song called Crossroads by my band, Forever Gone, with me, rhythm guitarist, Trevor Darling, lead guitarist, the wonderful singer, Trey Camp, bass player, Quinn Allen, and drummer, I forget his name, but he is a good drummer. And I'd like to welcome to my very first ever YouTube show, people. And I'd like y'all to hit that subscribe button too on Chris Levi 13.
Click that subscribe button right up there.
Yeah. Now, I always wanted to do a show. Do a show. And last year I became a member of OTWF, Oakland, Tennessee Wrestling Federation, that Trey Camp came up with. And then this year we started a band, and I always wanted to do a show because I seen him do his show, Tease POV, which is called Trey's Point of View. You should go to Trey Camp 12 and check out that page. Check out for his funny videos, his little lip singing videos, and his show, Tease POV, his wrestling talk show, where you hear his opinions, you have special guests and other things. But back to my show. On this show you hear current wrestling and music topics, news, history, bands, superstars. You have special guests. Maybe you have my band, maybe you have other OTW members, and musical arrangements like you saw me play there on the guitar. So as I started to tell people I'm making a show, I got questions from, hey, you're doing a show, well, what's your favorite music, what's your favorite wrestling? Well, I started to have to think a lot, and I just gonna have to scratch my head and think about it. And so here's my favorite musicians in this, and I'll give you the top 5 of my favorite music in wrestling. Top 5 in music would have to be, number 1, if you know me, it's Dave Grohl. Hands down, from when he's been Scream, to when he was in Nirvana as a drummer, to when he made his own band and recorded the whole first record of Foo Fighters all by himself, to Queen of Stone Age, and he's still in Foo Fighters. Oh, hands down, I'd bow down to that guy. And another couple bands I like that are current bands is bands like Breaking Benjamin, Sealer, Skillet, Switchfoot. Oh yeah, a local band from here is Dead Ball Road, which is a great band. And even there's some classic rock bands I like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Leonard Skinner, so many, Bob Seger, a whole bunch of people. I even like country artists like Jason Aldean or Brad Paisley, and I even like rap because I don't just like one style music. To make a show and to be somebody to get a little bit of taste, a little bit of everything, I gotta listen to everything, and that's what I do as a musician to make myself better. Now that's my music. Now I've done the wrestling, the thing that I love to do, that I'm actually a wrestler in training. See those muscles, they're getting bigger. And so everybody knows that if you watch wrestling, you're obviously got to be a TNA, WWE, or some kind of fan like that, unless you just totally hate them companies. So I'll get off to WWE. My favorite wrestler currently in WWE is Christian. Yes, and I'm one of his peeps. I like him because he is totally great. Ever since he was in ENC Connection to when he left WWE, went TNA, he's won titles in everywhere he's gone. So you can never count him out. If there's a title and he wants it, he can get it someday, somehow. Even if he's got to beg for it like he did last year. One more match. And other guys I like are like Cody Rhodes, his rival right now. Dolph Ziggler, because both those guys...
Oops, sorry about that.
Oh yeah?
I had technical difficulties. Keep on talking.
Technical difficulties, sorry about that. But since Cody Rhodes left Legacy and since Dolph Ziggler left the Gay Spirit Squad, both them guys have made stellar careers for each other. So, which I see them both being, respectively, World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champions one day. Do you think that, Trey?
Of course.
See? Yeah. Another guy I like is, another people call him a joke, he's a mid-card right now, but he's one of my favorites. Woo, 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 you know it! Zack Ryder. So the ladies love him, and the kids love him, and he can surely sell merchandise. And he's got his own YouTube show too, if you want to go check it out. And that's basically what I like in WWE. Oh yeah, and I like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, them guys like that. Now moving on to TNA, Total Nonstop Action. Everybody knows that my favorite tag team in the whole world came from this company. And if you look at my YouTube page, you'll see it. Motor City Machine Guns with Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Two guys that I've been told before by people that if I were to train and cut my hair a little bit and get muscle on me, that I could be a professional wrestler like them one day. And I hope to get that high. Other guys I like are Bobby Roode, the It Factor.
More like the Shit Factor.
Well, that's your RVD, the whole effing show. Wherever he goes, he's the whole show because he's Rob Van Dam. Jeff Hardy, I like, and one of my favorites that I gotta say is Mr. Anderson. And one day I'm gonna learn to do his mic check, and then you'll see not only one person doing a mic check, but two people. And another one of my favorites is who I gotta say it? AJ Styles. Would you consider him the face of TNA? Would you say that?
Of course.
Another two that I like is that I'm gonna get out there real quick is the Cowboy James Storm, which I believe he might win the Bound for Glory tournament, which I'll talk more about that in just a minute. And another one of my favorites is EY, Eric Young. I've always liked him, and even when he's done that crazy stuff with ODB, I still think he's one of the best in TNA, just like Austin Aries. Okay, now to a couple other topics. Money in Bank's coming up our way in WWE and TNA. You've got Bound for Glory tournament. Bound for Glory tournament, I feel it's going great. You've got people like Bully Ray and Samoan Joe. They call submission. That's all he does is a rear naked check it over, ain't it?
Yep. He only does a rear naked choke, and like that's the only submission I've ever seen him do.
Yeah. I mean, he can do other ones, but he doesn't really show them. So why they call him submission? If I ever got in the company and he had to face my band, I'd show him some submissions. Wouldn't you, Trey?
Yeah, I make him tap out to the crossface.
Yeah. A throwback to Chris Benoit right there.
Yes.
One of our favorites. Okay, another.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. Okay. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say something. I have to say something. I forgot to tell you who my favorite divas are. If everybody knows that I like Maria. She's in ring. She never really got a push in WWE. She was good for a while. But Ring of Honor. She is in Ring of Honor as the first lady of Ring of Honor, Maria. And she is one girl. I've talked to her before, and almost other things that my friends know. I like Mickie James. I like Victoria. I like Kelly Kelly. I like Beth Phoenix. Those are divas I like.
You like Kelly Kelly?
She's pretty good.
She's not a good wrestler.
Well, that's your opinion. She can.
That's my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, she's taking a break right now, but still.
She's probably training.
Yeah. Like John Cena has to learn to do.
Don't even get me started.
But I gotta say a thing about that John Cena thing is that since WrestleMania, he has been wrestling more better.
Yes, at WrestleMania, him and The Rock was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yes. And since then, he has been more of a wrestler instead of just being like hitting somebody and they be 2 feet away from him.
You're at 8 minutes and 35 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Here's telling my time. So I'm gonna get down to the end of the show. You've seen my favorite wrestlers, my favorite music. You've seen my little music part. You've heard what's gonna be in the future of the show. It might be a little jump it up for this being episode 1 of the Rock and Roll Wrestling Show. But before I go, I gotta give another shout out to Trey's Point of View on TreyCam 12, which is the show I will be appearing on in the next episode as special guest. Other people I gotta give a shout out to that gave me shout outs over YouTube is Cameron Miller 10 from Virginia.
Christian Miller 10.
Christian Miller 10. And then Cameron Booth TV. He's from Australia, a great guy that I'm gonna meet one day, and I hope to meet both of them. And wrestle both of them. And this has been the Rock and Roll Wrestling Show. Also, for the fans, in episode 2, you asked me to send me questions over Facebook, YouTube, or any way you can contact me, and I'll answer your questions live on the show in a fans question segment. And this has been episode 1 of the Rock and Roll Show. Be prepared for episode 2.